So with 2021 ending and meeting its imminent demise, I thought it was only right that we look back at what was, in my opinion, overall a pretty good year for the WWE. Yes, you did have your, not so good things, cough, cough, the releases, but, business is business. You got to do what you got to do. And despite that and other things as well, 2021 wasn't a bad year for the WWE. I think one of the best things that could come out of this year alone, not just for the WWE, but for many other major wrestling promotions, was the return of fans. But again, going back to the WWE, there were a lot of matches, 10 matches in particular, that I personally thought were some of the best matches of this year alone. Matches that I would definitely go back and hit the rewind button, to look back at, this year, 2021. So that is today's video to bring you guys the top 10 best WWE matches of 2021. Before I get started, remember to like, remember to comment, and remember to subscribe, guys. Guys, we're on the road to 500 subs. We're almost there. We can get to 500 subs. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Tell your family, tell your friends about this great channel. Now, let me make this disclaimer. These are the top 10 matches that I believe are the best. It wasn't easy putting this list together. And plus, I know there are going to be some who will be like, why didn't you put some of the NXT matches? Walter and Dragunov was the best NXT match, was the best WWE match of this year alone. Why didn't you put that match in top 10? Why wasn't that number one? That's NXT. That's NXT 2.0. That's NXT UK and all that good stuff. That has nothing to do with the main roster. This is the main roster, Raw and SmackDown. Now, if I put a top 10 NXT match together, then most definitely that would be my number one. Also, again, this is, in my opinion, my list, so you may not agree with my list, which is perfectly fine. You can put in the comment section on what you thought were your best top 10 matches of the WWE this year. But kicking off with number 10 as we get started, we got the Men's Royal Rumble, the 2021 Men's Royal Rumble match. And I think that this is a fitting way to put this on the spot at number 10. Obviously, I think one of the best moments, one of the best highlights of this match, rewinding, going back, was the win at the number one spot from the Rated R superstar Edge, who made his return to the go home show of Raw and announced he was going to be in the Rumble, and he wins the Royal Rumble match. I thought that that was a really cool moment, and Edge winning the Rumble match for the second time in his career, I thought at the number one spot was a really cool moment. Also, you had some other cool moments, like you saw the return of Christian, which I thought was a pretty cool moment as well. All right, coming in at number 9, we got WrestleMania Backlash Triple Threat match for the WWE title. Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley versus Braun Strowman. If you are looking for a match where you have 3 big men, 3 giants, 3 titans, 3 beasts going at it, back and forth, everything destroyed, I'm telling you, man, this match is for you. I remember when this match first came out, and these 3 men went over the expectations I thought. Because originally I thought this match was going to be good, but the match turned out to be really extremely well. And in a sense, even though he didn't win, I mean, what a way to go out for Braun Strowman, and what was of course, his last WWE match before getting released. And man, what a way to go out, man, because that match was so good that of course it tops number 9, and it was extremely well. I highly recommend you go back and watch the Triple Threat match at WrestleMania Backlash. All right, coming in number 8, man, we got the 2021 the Men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Of course, man, this was the first official pay-per-view back with fans, so everybody was so excited. Minor the Peacock issues that were going on at the beginning, but that's not really to worry about. That was entrances, unless you want to see the entrances. But the match was good, and thank God Peacock didn't do their little buffering during the match, because this matchup was really good, man. This is one of the best matches on the show. Ricochet that just did that insane flip. off the ladder, on the rope, onto everybody. Kevin Owens taking that insane bump through the ladder. Everybody just getting their parts in. This was just a fun men's Money in the Bank match to enjoy. And of course, the winner being the eventual and now the current WWE champ Big E was just a really cool moment as well. And I think that, not only highly recommend and go back and watch all these matches, but go check out the men's Money in the Bank match. I think that match is one of the best matches on the show. Really good match. Okay, so coming in at number 7, we got two former best friends at the time, bitter enemies, Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus at the Fastlane pay-per-view. Now, for the most part, man, Fastlane, outside of this match and the main event, this show was average for the most part. I honestly think that, because I know people are going to talk about the main event, obviously. Spoiler alert, it's in this list. But Drew McIntyre and Sheamus was just an absolute war. It went all around the arena, back and forth. Their whole feud was really good, man. And all their matches that they had together were just so good. And just goes to show you how great Sheamus is. I think that this feud that really started, because, like, before then, it's not like people were saying Sheamus wasn't a bad wrestler or anything like that. But, like, I think this feud really started, made people, a lot of more people, wake up and realize that holy crap, Sheamus is really good, and Sheamus just did a really good job as a heel in the suit, and of course Drew, just did a good job as well. And this was just an insane match at Fastlane, a really good match that was just really good. And I also think this both Drew's and Sheamus one some of their best matches of this year alone was in this feud. So coming in at number 6, we have the main event of the Money in the Bank pay-per-view event for the Universal Championship. Edge versus Roman Reigns. Edge versus Roman Reigns. This is the first time that Edge and Roman Reigns have ever collided, ever went against each other. And boy, did it not disappoint. Now, I know what some people are going to say. Whoa, dude. Edge and Roman was slow for the most part. It was a boring match. If you look at the story, see, people need to understand storytelling matters in wrestling. The build up to getting to that end sequence where Edge was finally mounting that comeback against Reigns, was the story. Was Edge, does Edge still have what it takes to not only dethrone the tribal chief, but to become the Universal Champ? Some of the best moments was obviously the Edge, spearing through the barricade, the table. Just, this was a good match. And of course, the Usos come in, Rollins comes in, this sets up Seth Rollins versus Edge. And then this eventually sets up John Cena's highly anticipated return, him versus Roman at SummerSlam. So I would definitely go back and check out Edge versus Roman Reigns. First time dream match, and it certainly, in my opinion, it did not disappoint. All right, coming in at number 5 on this list, we have Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair at WrestleMania 37, Night 1 main event for the SmackDown Women's Championship. A few months ago, man, I and many other people felt like that Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair, as talented as those two women were, are, this, a lot of people, including me, felt like this match should have not main evented WrestleMania 37, mainly due to the fact that, well, it was a terrible feud, and it was a terrible feud. Like, my God, like, what a terrible feud this was. As great as this match was, this was a terrible feud. But I will give credit where credit is due. Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair, like I said before, these two women are so talented and one of the best women wrestlers on the roster. These two women went out there and did not disappoint. One of my favorite moments wasn't just the fact when Bianca Belair won, but it was when Bianca lifts Sasha Banks up and was climbing up the steps. So Bianca's showing her full strength. Bianca winning the SmackDown title. Her family, her friends was celebrating. It was a genuine reaction, a genuine moment. It was just all around an insane moment. And in my opinion, that match and that title win solidified Bianca Belair as not just the future, but the now of the women at the time. So it's absolutely amazing, and it was just a special moment for so many kids and just so many people alike. And the two women made history because they're the first official black women to main event WrestleMania, which is another historical moment, whatever your political views are, stuff like that. Just another historical moment as well. Coming in at number 4 on this top 10 list, Edge versus Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. This is a dream match. Of course, this match, Edge and Rollins at SummerSlam. This is a match that people don't understand. This has been building up for so many years, for at least, I would say, what, 6 something years, 5 some years, something like that. Edge and Seth Rollins, we saw what happened in 2014 with Seth Rollins literally getting ready to paralyze Edge. Poor Edge can do anything, just to try to bring the authority back. Edge is back. Edge wants revenge. Edge hasn't forgot. He wants Rollins. Rollins wants Edge. This matchup was perfect at SummerSlam. This was just an amazing build-up and just an insanely awesome match. We saw Edge with the Brood entrance, which was just one of the best entrances ever. Really good entrance, man. Rollins being Rollins, these two men went to war that night, and in my honest opinion, this matchup was so good that I'll even say that it was better. As a huge John Cena fan, and you guys know I'm a John Cena fan. That John's one of my favorite, if not my favorite superstar ever. I think Edge and Rollins was better than Roman Reigns and John Cena. As much as I adore John and Roman, Edge and Rollins stole the show at SummerSlam. That's why it's at that number 4 list. That's why it's on this list, because it was just so damn good and just an amazing moment, and I enjoyed it. All right, coming in at number 3, Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship at Fastlane. Man, dude, Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson, whatever you want to say, he's had a lot of great matches here in wrestling this past year. And like, you can't argue. He's at least, if not top 5, at least top 3 best wrestlers of the year alone. Like, this dude was having banger matches everywhere, and I personally believe that Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns is Roman Reigns his best one-on-one title reign to this day. This was just an insane match, and just goes to show you how great chemistry Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns have. Just amazing, technical. There were so many moments where you felt like Daniel Bryan was going to take the win, but of course the tribal chief, the head of the table, reigned supreme, and this sets up the next match that takes number 2, Edge versus Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns, WrestleMania 37 Night 2. Now, there was so many people complaining that Daniel Bryan was main eventing. Oh, why is Daniel Bryan main eventing the show? This was ridiculous. Oh, Daniel doesn't deserve it. Daniel's whining, moaning, and complaining that he's in the main event of that he's not in the main event. This is ridiculous. But hey, you have to admit, let's be real. Daniel Bryan made this match between Edge and Roman just as good, if not better. Okay? This match, these 3 men went out there and put on a show at WrestleMania 37 Night 2. Non-stop, just insane action. Everybody getting their shots in. Edge and Daniel Bryan having in their submission holds, headbutting each other at the same time. The concerto spot, Roman pinning them at the same time, smashing them, stacking them, pinning them, holding the Universal Championship, fireworks going off around the arena. Man, this was just a great match, and I mean, just awesome to look back at, man. And just, wow, like, awesome, awesome, awesome from all 3 men. And even Jey Uso as well, man. He did his part well. Obviously helping his boy out, Roman, getting the win. All right, coming in at number 1. What's number 1 on the top 10 best WWE matches of 2021? Edge versus Seth Rollins at Crown Jewel, Hell in a Cell. This was the trilogy fight, the culmination of what, in my opinion, was the best feud in the WWE of this past year alone. Hell in a Cell is a match that is structured to end lives. It is a match that is structured to end feuds. And this was the perfect way to end what, in my opinion, and to be honest with you, I don't even think it's an opinion. It's a guaranteed fact, excuse my language, that Edge and Seth Rollins was the best feud and just an incredible feud and the best feud of the year alone. So why not give them the best match of the year? Seth going, not just hitting the cell, but going through the table, you know, the the wrap steel that was around Seth Rollins' leg. Just everything about this matchup was just brutal, and obviously it well deserves takes the number one spot. And again, just an incredible culmination of what was an incredible feud, the best match of the year, the best feud of the year, most importantly, so special. So guys, that has been my top 10 WWE matches of this past year alone. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thursday, it will be AEW that will be on the market, so be on the lookout for that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This has been the Kid DC Wrestling. Remember to subscribe to the channel, comment, like. What are your top 10 WWE matches of 2021? Put them in the comment section below. And so, yeah.